Hey Bears fans, before we get into today's video, I need your help. We're less than 300 subs away from hitting 17,000, but I've been told by the bosses I got to get there by kickoff on Sunday. That's just over 72 hours from now, so help me get there by hitting that big red subscribe button. Tell a friend, say, hey, go to youtube.com/BearsNow. This guy does a lot of videos on the Chicago Bears, the latest news and rumors. He covers it all. Tell them to hit that subscribe button once they go to youtube.com/BearsNow. Let's hit 17K before the Bears take on the Lions on Sunday. I'm your host, Harrison Graham, as always, here on Bears Now. Today's video, mostly some news, and then a quick little look ahead to Sunday's game against the Bears and the Lions. Subscribe. Let's hit 17K by Sunday. Mitchell Trubisky will start this game, which isn't a huge surprise, right? Nick Foles still day-to-day with his injury. We'll talk more about him in a minute, but you know, the Bears' offense moved the ball, I'd say, marginally better with Trubisky on Sunday. Foles is 2-5 as a starter this year, and with him still being banged up, I think Trubisky has probably earned the right to start another game. But you guys know me. I'm very clear on this situation long term. Bears need to get a quarterback. They don't have one on their roster currently. But as far as this week goes and probably the rest of the season goes, Trubisky feels like the best option, and especially against Detroit, a team that he has dominated against, 4-2 in his career, 4-0 in his last 4 starts since 2018. If he could play the Lions every week, he'd be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but that's not how things work in the NFL. Hopefully he can put together another good performance, and the Bears can snap a 5-game losing streak, because it's been a miserable month and a half watching this football team play. Hopefully Trubisky plays well this Sunday, as Matt Nagy has said that he will start. Now, should Mitchell Trubisky start the rest of the season? I say yes. Let me know what you guys think. Type Y for yes, type in for no. We'll go ahead and make this the pinned comment on today's video. So if you think it's yes, type Y. If you think it's no, type in. Obviously, like I mentioned previously, this is not the long-term answer in Mitchell Trubisky, unless he's literally an MVP type of player the next month, and even then I would still have major questions long-term. This just isn't your answer at quarterback moving forward. I'm fine with him starting the rest of this season. I'm fine with him starting Sunday. I do think, especially with this offensive line, he gives you the best chance to win right now. But starting next year, you need to find someone else. So we'll see how Mitch plays this week. It's a big game. Despite how bad things have been, you beat Detroit on Sunday. You're right there in the NFC wildcard mix for that number 7 seed. So I'm pulling for Mitch. I hope he plays well. Thought he did some good things against the Packers, but he did have 3 bad turnovers. Now, if you want to bet on this game or any NFL game, and hell, the NBA is around the corner, you can do that as well at Bet Rivers. They're going to give you a 100% deposit match when you sign up. Go to chatsports.com/betil or chatsports.com/betin. You can sign up and deposit, but to place a bet, you must be within state lines of either Indiana or Illinois. That's why we have the 2 different links. If you're either in Indiana or going to be in Indiana, go to get signed up and deposit at chatsports.com/betin. For you Illinois folks, it's chatsports.com/betil. Looking ahead to this game, Bears favorite for the first time in a while. I'd have to look back. It's been several weeks for sure. Bears 3-point favorites. Lions, the over-under this one, 44.5. Obviously, Detroit let go of Matt Patricia and their GM Bob Quinn, so we'll see how they come out and play. And again, if you want to bet on this one, 2 links for you guys. Chatsports.com/betil if you're in Illinois. Chatsports.com/betin if you're in Indiana. Again, you can sign up and deposit from anywhere. I think I'm going to go with the Bears, actually, in this one. I'll give you my official prediction later on in the show, so stay tuned for that. More news here. Nick Foles is back at practice, returned on Wednesday in a limited capacity. Unclear what his status is for Sunday, but it's good to see him, getting back out there and doing some of those type of things. Obviously, if you're a quarterback and you're limited, especially with the hip, you really need to go through a couple of full practices. So we'll see over the next couple of days if he is able to do that and if he is available on Sunday. Again, Trubisky's going to start regardless. Nagy already said that, but Nick Foles is a better option than Tyler Bray, so be nice to see him get back and healthy. If I had to guess, he'll probably sit out one more week, and then in week 14 he'll probably be back and ready to go, and whether that's as the starter or the backup. Foles, he's a backup. These are backup numbers, right? If Nick Foles was on the Chiefs, and he was Patrick Mahomes' backup or something like that, or Aaron Rodgers' backup in Green Bay, you'd be like, yeah, that's a great backup, but just not a great starter, which is why the Bears in some part have gone back to Mitch Trubisky. But hey, they got 2 backup quarterbacks. That's just how it goes. And Trubisky's going to start probably the rest of the season. Foles will probably be your backup moving forward because he's under contract for a couple more years. We'll see what Bray and obviously Kyle Sloter end up factoring in the future. But Foles is starting to make his way back. That hip injury looks really bad a few weeks back against the Vikings, but luckily it wasn't as bad as we initially thought. We'll see if he is active this Sunday. Now, who is the best Bears quarterback of all time? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Best Bears quarterback ever. Obviously, a lot of you guys are big McMahon fans because he won a Super Bowl, but in all reality, that was Walter Payton and defensive type of team, obviously, in 1985. Let me know, best Bears quarterback of all time. Akiem Hicks, as we go through some more injury news here, looks like maybe he'll return this week. Wednesday, he did not practice. We'll see if he gets out there at all on Thursday. But Matt Nagy says he is getting better. He's hoping he'll be out there against Detroit on Sunday. It was obvious that Chicago felt his absence against Green Bay. They got absolutely run over defensively, especially in the run game, but obviously in the pass game as well. They miss Akiem Hicks being out there because he just gives this defense an emotional boost that it needs, and obviously he's one of their best players as well. He can get after the quarterback. He's a good run stopper. They have severely missed him in games that he has missed the past couple of years, so hopefully he can get back out there against Detroit this week. This defense got trucked by Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams, and I think Hicks being out was a big part of that. Didn't give up any of those, 40, 50-yard runs, but 5 yards here, 7 yards there, 12 yards here, 8 yards there. Like, too many, chunk type of plays in the run game, and that just deflates you as a defense, especially when you're facing Aaron Rodgers as well, because then he hits you with a little play action and you're just buried at that point. You can't get run over in the run game because otherwise NFL offenses are too good these days, and that is what happened against Green Bay. Hopefully Akiem Hicks is ready to go on Sunday because the Lions haven't been great this year, but Matt Stafford is a quarterback that can get hot in a hurry, so we will see what happens there. Who is the Bears' best defensive player not named Khalil Mack? I think most of you guys would say Mack is the best defensive player, although he's kind of disappeared in recent weeks. I would still say Mack is the best. Who's the second best, though? Is it Akiem Hicks? Is it Kyle Fuller? Roquan Smith? There's certainly some options. Eddie Jackson, who hasn't played that well this year. Let me know. Who is the Bears' best defensive player not named Khalil Mack? So you look ahead to Sunday. Obviously, I mentioned the Lions have fired their head coach and GM. Chicago has lost 5 games in a row, and their head coach and GM are on the hot seat. So this is a very, very important game for the Bears. I don't think it's that important for Detroit. They're not making the playoffs this year. They're clearly going in a new direction. But if you're Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, you gotta try and make it happen, right, over the next few weeks, because if this thing continues to go south, those 2 guys are probably going to be without a job. Bears 3-point favorites, like I said. You can get going with Bet Rivers on that one. Predict the score for me. Detroit versus Chicago. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. This feels like a classic NFC North low-scoring game. I said bet the under last week, and I was wrong about that one. But go ahead, get your score predictions in, and let me know in the comments which team you have winning, too. Don't just type a score. Say, for example, say 27-26 Lions or Bears or whatever. So specify, predict the score. Go ahead and get your votes in the comments. For me, this game feels like Matt Nagy's last stand. I'm going to go 24-20 Bears. I think Chicago finds a way. Trubisky historically plays really well against Detroit, especially over the past couple of years. I don't think that's something you can bank on necessarily, but there's turmoil in Detroit. I think that they're obviously punting on the rest of this season. I'm not saying they're going to, actively tank the rest of the year. They're going to play hard, but I do think the Bears will find a way to win a tough game at home against Detroit and get back to 6-6. So I think Matt Nagy and this team come together and they find a way to get one done here on Sunday. But I want to know, and be honest for me, because I know a lot of you guys are looking toward the future. Do you want the Bears to beat the Lions? And you're like, why wouldn't I? Well, some of you guys want to tank. So type W for win. You want them to win. Type L for lose. You want them to lose. I still think you want them to win because with that extra wild card spot, as long as you're in the playoff mix, you should try and make the playoffs. but I certainly understand if you want this team to lose out and get a higher draft pick. So let me know, W for win or L for loss. And obviously, NFC North is dead, right? Like losing that game to the Packers, that's done. They're going to win this division, up 3 games with 5 to go, and kind of 3.5 games because you lost the head-to-head to Green Bay. But the NFC playoff picture, it's still up for grabs. And you're saying, oh, well, they're the 9 seed. They can't get there. Well, you got the extra wild card spot this year. Arizona's only a game ahead of you in that aspect. Yeah, sure, Minnesota's got the tiebreaker for now, but you get to play them again. And if you beat them, you'll have a better record than them because you're currently tied right now. So this is very much still in play, as bad as this has been, and that is why I think you should still try to win if you are the Chicago Bears this Sunday. Now, before we sign off, I want to remind you guys, in case you forgot, maybe you're like, okay, I'll subscribe after the video, and then you guys just forget. You know, that's natural. Want to remind you guys, hit that sub button. Got to get to 17K before kickoff against the Lions on Sunday. We're less than 300 away. Can you help me out? We want to keep plugging out more videos for you guys. We want to keep doing live shows as well. We went live this past Tuesday for the first time for our weekly shows. We'll keep doing that if we can hit 17K by this Sunday at kickoff. So help us out. Hit that sub button, and we'll see you next time.